All right, guys. So in this life, there's some real ones and there are some fake ones. Okay, there's some real that will ride or die, right? That will ride or die with you. Okay, especially if you're in the right. Okay, they will stand up for you, and then there are others that will fold, okay, when there is any adversity, right? They will be out, okay? They will leave you stranded to deal with the adversity all by yourself, right? You got to be careful who you let in your inner circle, because everybody ain't real like that, right? Everybody ain't built like that. And in this story right here that we're going to talk about involving Joe Rogan once again and The Rock this time, it looks like The Rock, aka Dwayne Johnson, is not a real one, right? He ain't real like that, okay? He is not somebody you would want in your inner circle, because he's going to bend the knee to the woke mob, and then it's going to have that backfire in his face spectacularly, as the woke mob never ever forgives. The Rock is going to learn this the hard way. But before we get in that, I just want to let you guys know that if you like my channel, if you like what I do, if you want to support me, the links are in the description below. You can support the Patreon, you can support the PayPal, you can support the merch. There are multiple ways that you can support me if you want to support the channel. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into The Rock withdrawing his support from Joe Rogan amidst racism criticism, okay? So let's read here. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson seemingly withdrew his support for Joe Rogan after a slew of resurfaced videos showed the popular podcast host using racial slurs. So I've done plenty of videos on this, right? The mob is now coming after Joe Rogan, not for COVID-19 misinformation anymore, because they couldn't get him on that, right? So now they're trying to get him on racism, right? They're trying to accuse Joe Rogan of being a flaming racist because he said the N-word while quoting other people and trying to explain what other people were saying and things like that, not using a derogatory way, not even using it as, you know, a slur against anybody, anything like that. Just using it in a context of trying to explain what happened in a certain situation, to try to explain what somebody else said. Now, of course, context doesn't matter to the mob, okay? And some people just get so offended by hearing the N-word when a white person uses it, by the way. That's the only time they get offended. That, you know, hey, they want to cancel them anyways, right? They're like, we don't care about the context. We don't care if the guy's actually racist or not. We want to cancel them unless you pay us some more money, right? That is what the black artists that are threatening to boycott Spotify over Joe Rogan are saying. Is like, listen, you can keep Joe Rogan on the platform. You just got to pay us some more money, right? That's what they're saying, because that's what they really want. They really want money, okay? But regardless, my point is that the woke mob does not forgive. That's why I don't know why Joe Rogan even apologized, okay? Because the woke mob doesn't forgive. You will not be forgiven even if you apologize. So you shouldn't apologize, one, because, you know, you're not wrong. If you're not in the wrong, if you don't feel that you're in the wrong, don't apologize, okay? Because even if you apologize just because, that's still not enough. They're not going to forgive you, okay? That's not what's going to happen, right? So let's read more here. Johnson previously made waves when he commented on Rogan's video response to critics calling for him to be removed from the Spotify platform, where he went exclusive with his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, in 2020 over him spreading misinformation about COVID-19. Quote, "Great stuff here, brother," Johnson wrote in a response to Rogan defending himself and his guest. "Perfectly articulated. Look forward to coming on one day and breaking out the tequila with you." Okay, so this is The Rock basically saying, hey, bro, you know, look, these woke folks trying to cancel you, but we still cool, right? You still the homie, right? I'm going to come on your show and we going to have a little drink, right? We might smoke some weed or something. You know, we going to chill, right? We going to chop it up. However, Rogan, 54, took to Instagram again Friday night to share a video in which he expressed his deepest, sincerest apologies after critics began pointing out that his podcast can be a haven for racist comments as well. Johnson was brought into the public fray once again when activist and author Don Winslow called him out on Twitter for supporting Rogan. Quote, "Dear at Don Winslow," Johnson wrote Friday, "thank you so much for this. I hear you as well as everyone here 100%. I was not aware of his N-word use prior to my comments, but now I've become educated to his complete narrative. Learning moment for me." He included, "Mahalo, brother, and have a great and productive weekend, DJ." Okay, so this is a response to Don Winslow, right? I don't know who the guy is. He's some woke activist, okay? He says, "Dear The Rock, you're a hero to many people and using your platform to defend Joe Rogan, a guy that used and laughed about using N-word dozens of times. A terrible use of your power. Have you actually listened to this man's many racist comments about black people?" Okay, so again, Joe Rogan apologized about this, right? And for whatever reason, the mob still thought that it was appropriate to cancel him over this. Okay, he apologized about it, but the mob said, not good enough. And the hilarious part about this, the irony here, is that The Rock is going to learn the hard way why you don't apologize to the mob. Because low-key, what The Rock here is tweeting is low-key an apology. Okay, he's basically going to get somebody that, to me, appeared to be a friend, right? Somebody that he was supporting, right? He's now saying, you know what? I wasn't aware of his use of the N-word in the past. So therefore, now I've become more educated to his complete narrative, and I've learned. He didn't really come out and apologize, but him just saying that, in my opinion, I think it's him kind of acknowledging that, hey, Joe Rogan did something wrong, okay, and that he doesn't necessarily stand by it, right? That's kind of what he's insinuating here, okay? But again, like I said, The Rock is going to learn the hard way why you don't do this, because it's never enough for the mob. As The Rock got exposed for some transphobic things that he has said in the past by the woke revolutionaries who were pissed off about The Rock defending Joe Rogan. And Don Jr. has ran with this as a way to kind of demonstrate a point to The Rock about why you don't fold to the left, right? As there's this tweet that The Rock had put out basically 11 years ago that was dug up by the woke mob, right? Because The Rock essentially defended Joe Rogan, right? So what they do is that they go and they dig up your old tweets and they try to find a way to cancel you, right? Try to find a way to put you back in your place. Okay, that's what they do. And the tweet from The Rock was a response to some girl, some nobody that basically was expressing why she didn't like The Rock. And The Rock says, "Shh, don't be angry, Miss Katie. It's not our fault that you're turning T-word tricks to put yourself through nursing school." Shh. Okay. So The Rock here it's basically saying something that a lot of people are deeming to be transphobic, right? That's what people are saying, right? And Don Jr.'s point here is that, well, since The Rock is basically not standing by his friend anymore, then it's fair to ask, do you endorse this type of cancel culture, right? Do you endorse canceling people because of things they said in the past? And if so, then you gotta agree with this. As he says, wow, The Rock, you can't just try to quietly delete transphobic attacks without giving a groveling apology and expect to ever work in Hollywood again. Do Under Armour, Ford, Apple, Netflix, and the rest of his sponsors, partners agree with this hateful rhetoric? Okay, so the point here that Don is trying to make, he's not actually really trying to cancel The Rock. What he's trying to do is say, listen, they're making Joe Rogan give groveling apologies, right, over something that he said in the past. Okay, you came out here and defended the guy, and then you kind of low-key, retracted what you said when, called out by the mob. So it's like, okay, well, are you saying that you are for cancel culture, right? Are you saying that you should be canceled for things that you say in the past that are wrong? Okay, is that what you're endorsing here? Because you're not speaking out against it. You're not saying, hey, you know what? It is wrong for you guys to be going after Joe Rogan for the things he said in the past. Okay, that's not what he's saying. What The Rock is doing is actually giving in to the mob. Okay, and if that is the case, if you're gonna give in to the mob, then you should be canceled, because what you're saying is that you agree with the mob in the cancel culture, and you've said things in the past that can be deemed to be transphobic, so therefore you should be canceled, and you should lose all your corporate sponsorships, right? That's the point I think that Don Jr. is trying to make here. And even Caitlyn Jenner jumped in on this to say, the double standard is real. The Rock, I love you, but come on, dude, let's be real. Cancel culture has got to go. Use your platform. Don Jr., thanks for highlighting. Exactly, right? Use your platform to speak out against cancel culture, right? That's what we need. We need Hollywood celebrities saying, no, this is not right, right? But again, it's even worse here. It's even worse because apparently the person that The Rock low-key apologized to about the use of the N-word multiple times actually has a book in which he used the N-word multiple times. Okay, so again, this guy Don Winslow, right, that tried to call out The Rock over defending Joe Rogan, right, and Joe Rogan's use of the N-word. This guy actually has a book in which he uses the N-word multiple times, right, in the book. And there's a whole thread of the N-word that this guy has used multiple times in his book, right? Again, the irony here is crazy, okay? Everybody got skeletons in their closet, and what happens in the cancel culture wars is that essentially everybody gets canceled in the long run, okay? Everybody's skeletons gets dug up. So yeah, Don Jr. also put out more tweets here of The Rock saying things that people would probably find to be transphobic. And again, the reason why is because The Rock basically is not standing up for somebody that is supposed to be his friend, right? It's supposed to be his guy. Okay, he was like, yo, I want to go on your podcast. Until the woke mob came after him and made him low-key apologize for defending Joe Rogan, right? Like, come on, man. Stand for something. For a guy whose nickname is The Rock, right? I don't understand how you can be so soft, right? How can you be so soft? Especially considering the fact that this dude has said all types of things in the past that people will probably deem to be racist or homophobic, transphobic, or whatever, right? You think that would be the guy that would come out here and be like, look, man, we shouldn't be canceling people over stuff like this, okay? Everybody got skeletons in their closet. It is what it is, okay? But he's not saying that. He's folding just like all these other people are, right? And low-key, Joe Rogan is folding as well. It's just a shame, man. It's just a shame to see all these people folding. These people who have huge platforms that have made millions of dollars that no matter what happens, they're going to be set for life. You don't have anything to really lose, bro. Like, how much money can you actually need, okay? How much money can you actually need? At the end of the day, it's fine if you don't make mediocre Hollywood movies anymore. You will be fine. Okay, but in the day, this is a fight for freedom of speech, and you got to pick the right side. You can't be on the side of the people that want to marginalize people and push people to the edges of society because of wrong think, right? You can't be on that side. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.